The Chaser Report is recorded on Gadigal land.
Striving for mediocrity in a world of excellence. This is the Chaser Report.
Hello and welcome to the Chaser Report with Dom and Charles.
Happy New Year, Charles. 2024, we've made it. We've made it to another year. And not just any year, Charles. Not just any year. This year is going to be the 25th anniversary of the Chaser.
Oh, goodness.
We
yes.
are all so fucking old. In May, we'll have a celebration of 25 years of ridiculousness. So that's a landmark, I feel. Most people find new things to do with their lives 25 years in.
What lesson do we teach the kids? If you stick at something long enough, you can grind it into the ground.
Yeah, if you stick at something for a long period, you can have a heyday, which, had its moments.
Oh, yeah.
But those moments are
Love the heyday.
rapidly vanishing into the past. That's the way to do it, kids.
Enjoy the heyday while it lasts.
Yeah. I wish I'd done that at the time. But no, it was a good heyday.
Talking of heydays, this episode is itself going to be a bit of a heyday,
Well,
Dom.
2024 could be the heyday for the podcast, couldn't it?
Well, I think it probably will be, because the great thing about 2024 is we're off to a brilliant start. There's just only positive news, and I'm going to run you through half a dozen stories that have happened in the last few weeks where you just go, I think the world is back on the way
It's
up.
taking a turn.
Yes.
All right, well, let's find out how that works and if Charles is being ironic after this.
No, I'm not being ironic.
Okay.
Because we're going to start with friend of the show, Tony Burke.
Oh, yes.
Who has passed some more IR legislation, including one that criminalises wage theft.
Criminalises wage theft. Charles, hang on a sec. Don't you pay wage? Aren't you going to go to jail?
Oh, shit. But surely there'll be a loophole for small businesses. That's what the Libs always do, isn't it?
I don't know. Really?
Tony wouldn't send me to jail, would he?
Yes. Wage theft, though. I mean, that's a situation where basically people are chronically underpaid to a criminal degree. It's terrible.
You've been underpaid in your career,
Oh,
haven't
of
you?
course I've been underpaid. Yeah, of course.
My wife has been underpaid.
My very first job as a student, I was massively underpaid in violation of the relevant award. So that was fun. I mean, this is great stuff.
I once worked for a union. This is true. When I was at uni, I worked for a union as a sort of receptionist and filing clerk. I was terrible at it, by the way.
Yeah, so you were paid an appropriate amount.
Yeah, but they explicitly paid below award wages. And I confronted them about it, and they said, well, it's a summer job. That's how it works.
Yes, well, I worked for an organisation that paid us below award wages, and then when we complained about it and pointed it out, sacked us all. And so we went to the union then, and the union helped, and we got a sort of settlement. And that's,
well,
wage theft.
now those employers could face jail time.
Well, as long as the companies aren't punished. I think the middle managers are the ones who are going to get punished. Okay, so IR legislation.
Yeah.
So you really wanted to start the positive chat about how great 2024 was going to be with industrial relations?
Well, it'd be good, but the IR is quite wide-reaching. They've also got this stuff about equal job, equal pay, I think it's called.
Yes.
Same job, same pay is the thing. And I suppose that's gender equity as well, but it's literally like you can't... previously, people like Qantas and stuff like that could just go, okay, well, we're going to hire this company called Baggage Handling Services Australia, which we've just invented, and they'll do the job, and we'll pay those employees, and we happen to own that company, but it's a separate company, and we'll pay those employees 40% less than our current baggage handlers, and then suddenly... you've got wage competition, and that's not going to be allowed anymore. Not allowed to do that.
Okay.
Same job, same pay.
That sounds radical.
So that's good. Like, good start to 2024. We've got something happening. Right?
Industrial relations legislation, which may transform working lives of many Australians and probably get the government absolutely no political reward as a result.
Well, I haven't seen any news about these changes. They've been around for about a week now. It's you're right. You're totally right.
So, so we're the people talking about them.
Yeah, we're the only people.
It's done. Okay.
Okay. Next thing is very good news for rents in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Which is that they've gone up 13% in the last year, and they're likely to climb probably an equal amount in 2024, economists say. So if you're a landlord, that is a great start to 2024.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah.
So all those landlords out there, great news.
Well, absolutely. And look, when the stage 3 tax cuts come through later in the year, I'm assuming the Venn diagrams of landlords and people who earn $200,000 plus intersect quite a lot. Those people are going to have a great year. They're going to have such a good year.
Well, the only problem is that negative gearing means that on paper, landlords tend not to earn very much money because they make all those delicious tax losses.
So the aim is to be so rich that you're earning over 200 grand, even though net your negative gearing.
Yeah, that's right.
I reckon some people manage
I
to
think
do
they
that.
probably do manage to do
Yeah, have a great year.
But look, if you're not in the position of being a landlord, you might think, oh, that sucks ass.
But rents are going up.
Yeah, the rents are going up.
But hang on, but if you own more than $200,000 and you're a renter, it's fine. You'll have all the money from the stage 3 tax cuts.
But I've got good news for people who aren't renters, which is that house prices continue to soar and have actually just reached all-time highs, even more than in the pandemic.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that.
So you don't have to just be a landlord. You've just got to own something and
own a property of some kind.
Yeah. And what it means is that if you are a renter, then what you should have done is buy a house and then you'd be fine.
Yeah, so with the IR stuff, you were being straight, and now we're back into this. Okay. So a great year for landlords and people who already happen to own houses and live in them or not. Great stuff.
Okay, now I'm going to go back to being straight, just happy.
This is very confusing. Charles, where are we with this?
So next thing is, and this just happened this morning our time, so probably sort of 24 hours ago by the time you're listening to this, which is BP announced that they are blocking oil being exported through the Red Sea or whatever.
Yes, because the Houthi rebels have been flying drones into tankers.
Yes. And Rishi Sunak, an hour after BP announced that they're not going to be exporting petroleum anymore from the Middle East, Rishi Sunak suddenly became a pacifist, called for a permanent ceasefire in Gaza. It's all over.
It's really?
Well,
Wonderful. Did we also decide to just abandon fossil fuels and solve the whole problem? And there are no ships going through. We're just all working off fabulous, electric cars and stuff.
Well, I think the point is that if you had a permanent ceasefire, then the oil could flow again and we don't have to. We can just go back to fossil fuels.
So you're telling us 2024 is a great year.
Yeah.
In a sentence involving Rishi Sunak. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, I think that now that it's actually, it's become clear that the oil's now getting a bit stuck. Then
you can make any story positive, can't you?
Yeah.
The story about the Boeing 737 aircraft, whatever it was.
Yes, that's the next thing on my list, which is that they discovered you don't need all the doors to safely fly a plane.
Bolts, apparently.
No one died. No one died. I mean, a little toddler lost his shirt and a couple of iPhones fell out, but the iPhone survived. The iPhones did very well.
Oh, that's very impressive.
And then it turned out you don't need, if you're sitting in 19 seat, you don't need the door. You don't need the door plug.
I find that, Jen, that's actually really good news.
Yes, it is.
Why do they bother putting them in the first place?
Well, I think this whole sort of overreaction by the authorities in the US, saying, oh, we're going to ground them, we've got to check all the bolts and everything like that. Don't you think that the fact that everyone survived proves that you don't need to check them?
It's the nanny state gone now. I'm just sick of them.
Yes.
Going through all the bolts and checking, is there a door on this egress point?
Yeah. And imagine how exciting it is. I mean, the amount of online karma and all the views and just social sort of thing that all the people who posted videos from that plane got, that'll wipe out their PTSD or at least sort of equalise.
Fascinating year for aviation. I mean, the flight in Japan that landed on fire, that was harrowing and some people died in another Coast Guard plane. But the views that they got on social media were considerable for the aircraft on fire.
Yep, great views. And I heard the single most racist take on that, which was that the reason why everyone on board the ANA plane survived was because they were really obedient, because Japanese people are obedient. That is honestly one of the takes, right? Because normally, apparently in the West, if you say to everyone, okay, evacuate now, everyone tries to get their handbags out and take their shoes and everything like that. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to just immediately exit. And that's what happened. Everyone was very obedient. They got off the plane extremely quickly. And then the plane, 10 minutes later, blew up.
Well, there were a lot of Australians on that flight.
Yeah, there was 11 Australians. But they would have been Japanese Australians, wouldn't they?
Right, they would have been.
Because they're obedient.
They would have been Australian tourists.
They were probably
no borders.
people sort of trying to hold up the line.
But Charles, I mean, look, I don't want to question the racist assumptions of racists, but do you think that the fact that the plane was visibly on fire might have led to people evacuating more quickly? I don't know about you, all right? And I would be the kind of person that might try and grab their laptop bag, sure.
Yes,
but if
definitely
the plane
would.
was on fire and I could see flames, I'd think, you know what, I've got travel insurance. Fuck it, I'll upgrade my laptop.
Yeah.
On the travel insurance.
I think that's another piece of good news is everyone on board got to upgrade all their tech equipment that they left behind.
I'm so confused at this point in the podcast.
The Chaser Report. News a few days after it happens.
Welcome back to 2024. Look, we said we'd do one a week in January while on holiday.
Maybe
mode.
we shouldn't.
I'm questioning that plan at this point. But we've covered a lot of news.
Yeah.
And we've also covered, in a sort of meta sense, the fact that it's been a slow news year so far. Not much has happened, has it?
Tons have happened.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, which is Trump. So Trump has been eliminated from the ballot in Colorado.
Colorado and Maine.
And Maine, right? Which means it's over. Trump's gone.
Which means that the Supreme Court's about to rule and say that he has the right to be on every ballot and that the people can decide.
Okay, yeah. Well, if you're a sort of glass half empty type of guy, then yeah, maybe. But
You think he needs Colorado? I think Donald Trump, isn't he inevitably going to win this year? Like in a year's time, we'll be sitting here going, well, Donald Trump's being sworn in a few days.
Yeah, probably true. Which means comedy's back, baby. Comedy is back.
For the Chase's 25th year,
Yes.
Donald Trump winning a victory, this could be a very positive development for satire.
I can tell you, 2016 to 2020 was the heyday of Chaser Online. Like, social media engagement-wise, because the comedy writes itself. You can be as lazy, because, we're generally
Trump
lazy.
does thing.
Yeah, Trump does thing. You just do it. You maybe slightly exaggerate it. There's your headline.
Actually, Charles, that leads me to one genuinely positive observation about 2024. I think social media is kind of done.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, X is Twitter /X is terrible.
Dumpster fire. In fact, I have been going on to it because I gave up a few months ago, but I've been going on to it in the last sort of, week and a half, during the holidays. And it's just been so enjoyable watching how shit it is.
It's terrible.
Like,
Threads is boring. Blue Sky's worse. Mastodon's for idiots.
Are you on Blue Sky?
I'm on all of these.
Are you on
I've
Blue
signed
Sky?
up to all these things, but they're all different ghost towns.
What's your thing on Blue Sky? Oh, they've changed their logo.
I can't. Dom Knight or something. It's normally some version of Dom Knight. But Instagram is incredibly boring. Just people on holidays who I hate.
Yes.
But the most shocking one, I realised that at the end of 2023, I hadn't added a single new person on Facebook in 2023 at all that entire year, which means either that I didn't meet anyone new and that I'm totally boring now, or that we just stopped adding people on Facebook. It's just the platform has desiccated and died.
It's gone. Well, actually, I haven't used Facebook for a number of years, but guess what my New Year's resolution was this year?
To delete Facebook?
No, is to get back on Facebook.
Why?
Because
nothing's happening. So it's finished.
No, because because I was enjoying watching how shit X is.
Okay, well,
and so I'm
definitely get back on Facebook.
And so I'm thinking, I should actually because I always think the way to do New Year's resolutions is to do the opposite of what wellness
swim against
gurus.
the tide.
Yes.
So you get fat.
So everyone always goes,
"Oh,
I'm quitting Facebook as my New Year's
I'm going to
resolution.
stop exercising."
Yeah, I'm going to quit social media. Nah, I'm going to lean into social
Lean in.
media.
Well, Charles, there is one social platform. There's only one that I can tell that is actually active and busy and has a lot of engagement.
TikTok.
Well, okay, TikTok's definitely still alive,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I'm too old for TikTok. It's embarrassing being on TikTok.
No, exactly.
The one that's getting traction that we
yes.
should look at is Truth Social.
Truth Social.
True. And
Yes.
it's you don't retweet, you retruth.
No, you
it's all
retweet.
truth.
Yeah.
Just by anything you write on there, it's the most Trumpian platform imaginable because anything you say is defined.
Is truth.
Is defined as a truth. Like you can write anything and it's just automatically a truth.
What's your username on Truth Social?
I don't have one yet. That is the truth.
We're going to have to sign up.
We will. It's the only. Well, that's the only way to find out what's happening in the
Okay,
world.
that's good. I'm going to get all my family and friends to sign up to.
On Truth Social.
Yeah.
Yep. That'll
Okay.
be good. So that'll make it for a very happy.
We should set up a Chaser Report account. That should be our
platform of choice.
platform of choice.
There you go.
Okay.
It's already a better 2024. Happy New Year, Charles.
Yep. Okay. So we'll be back in a week's time.
Or thereabouts.
Yeah. In like a week and a bit's time.
Thereabouts-ish sort of thing.
With more good news.
Last year, we didn't even bother to make any episodes in January, and frankly, that was probably a good call. But we'll stick with that, what we said we'd do. Catch you next time. Our gear is from Road. We're part of the Iconoclast Network, and more soon-ish.
Ish.
Ish.
Right.